Hello, friends. Welcome back. How was your week? How was yours?
Good, I think. I think this has been I'm always like hesitant, and I forgot to think about it ahead of time. We went through
We
this
got
last week.
for the
I feel
study for
like
the
this
test.
week has been very good. Yeah.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. Good. Me too. How was yours? Let us know in the comments. And welcome back. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was a good week. Just a lot of resting. Shark week. So, you know, cramping, uncomfortable, but otherwise. So it's a lot of taking it easier, but yeah, it's been a nice week so far. Um, yeah. So welcome back. If you don't know who we are the Rustic Girls, a mother-daughter duo with a passion for creating beautiful homes, living intentional lives, and pursuing our creative dreams. I am Katie, the daughter of the mother-daughter duo.
And I am Patty, the mother of the mother-daughter duo.
So welcome and join us, hang out. Um, Maybe just say hello in the comments. Maybe let us know where you're watching from because we like to know who we're having coffee with.
Mm-hmm.
So today we were going to talk about, beforehand, we are thinking like, okay, what are we going to talk about? And we were thinking, um, on the lines of intentional living and being present, I guess would be a good word for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized, maybe it'd be good to start with just like our working definition of what intentional living is. And so I typed it up and I sent it to Patty's phone, and then her phone locked. So we're gonna see if I know her password. It's a fingerprint. I was
You
thinking
don't
the other
have to
day.
use the fingerprint though.
I was thinking the other day I should put your fingerprint on my phone, and I feel like you should do the same so we can unlock each other's phones. I do know your password. Okay. Working definition. Intentional living is just paying a little more attention to your everyday life and being more thoughtful about what you're choosing to keep, focus on, and let go of. So your days feel more like they actually belong to you
Mm-hmm.
instead of just slipping by without you noticing. So that looks like a lot of different things, but today we're thinking about just the things that we notice about our lives. So being intentional about just being aware of your life because it's easy to just tick off days without realizing it.
Mm-hmm.
And so kind of the small things that we're loving right now and appreciating in our lives. So we took some time just to think about like what's something I'm really enjoying, what is filling my cup at the moment, and we would love for you guys to share maybe a few of the things that are filling your cup at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to share your first thing?
And I'm not going to go in any particular order because I just jotted them down, but I think it is number one on my list, and I think it is probably the number one thing that's filling my cup right now is sunshine. I thrive on sunshine. I don't know, it draws me out. I feel more alive and
Mm-hmm.
energized, and so I'm loving that we're getting consistent sunshine
Mm-hmm.
now.
Yeah,
And even on the days that feel a tad too warm, I
we're
just
not
say
complaining.
it's not cold. I'm glad it's not cold.
Being grateful.
So yeah, that's
Love that.
probably top on my list right now.
So it's funny because that's mine too. Um, but I said puzzles and
Oh,
sunshine.
you double down.
I doubled
See,
down because I do love sunshine,
hmm
but
you have to be doing something.
doing something, and I think it's doing something just that's puzzling is it's a tactile experience of like
Hmm.
touching and sifting through the pieces. It's just a slow thing, but it also requires a lot of focus. And for me, having like an ADD brain, it's constantly going and there's constant noise. And when I'm really fixated on something, it quiets. And so for focusing on puzzle, it's quiet.
Mm.
And so it's just sitting in the warm sunshine, um, focusing on that just creates such a calm and a quiet in my mind that I'm really grateful for. It's been filling my cup, especially this week. Yeah. Excuse me, guys. What's your number two?
Well, along with sunshine, because I think it makes it a little more tangible. Well, not necessarily, but practical, I guess. I don't know. Barefoot, going barefoot.
Mm,
Um, I wasn't a barefoot kid. I had very tender feet, and I've really been how to get into this whole grounding and earthing thing. I feel better. I do feel better.
Mm-hmm.
So like being barefoot whenever I can, out in the grass, in the sand. Last winter, of course, we were on a beach, and so I walked miles and miles and miles on that beach. It's like it works your legs and
Mm-hmm.
just feels good, just that connection point. And with that, wearing barefoot shoes.
Mm-hmm.
So when I do have to put shoes on to go to the store or whatever, or walk, around the block with the cat, um, just feeling a little more connected. I'm feeling more balanced.
Mm-hmm.
I'm approaching the age where I was starting to um, be like a little off kilter, and so it's really helping me to kind of get my balance in check and all that. So yeah,
Like it.
I'm into the whole barefoot thing.
Me too. I remember growing up, I was a barefoot kid. I was
Mm-hmm.
definitely like my grandma. I took after her heart. I was constantly barefoot. And I remember one time running barefoot out in the snow and daddy yelling at me that, like, run barefoot in the snow, get your dang shoes on. Like, that's what I bought you shoes for. Ah, I remember, it's funny because there are things that I don't think you realize until maybe you become a parent how much is just parent isms.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember like I used to always sleep with blankets, and
Mm-hmm.
Dad would fuss about I bought you bedding, like I bought you bedding to sleep with you, and we sleep with blankets, and with the shoes, and like you said stuff like that too. And I hear me and Justin say it to the kids, and I just thought, oh, it's just my parents, and then it's like, oh, like no, that's kind of a parent ism of
Mm-hmm.
like I spent money on this, I bought you
You
this,
need
like
to
to
be
take
using
care of
it.
you,
Yeah.
use it, appreciate it. But yeah,
Yeah.
so I do appreciate going barefoot. Um, that's a constant thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
I hate shoes on my feet. I'm
Yeah.
the person who gets in the car, slips off their shoes. Even at church, half the time I'm barefoot because I just don't want to wear shoes.
I still don't,
Flyaways,
if it's like,
drive me nuts.
like I have to
Gravel's
have
hurts.
like things that can slip on walking across the rocks. If they're like small, smooth rocks, I can do
Mm-hmm.
okay, but ones are kind of jabby. I'm still a little tender on that.
I feel that.
I can do it, but I'm like,
I am a little bit too. I'm not the hardcore person I was growing up. Well, my number two is sipping coffee in mono coffee mug. My friend realized that she missed my birthday because I inherited from my mom the ability to just be like, it's just another day. I'm not gonna tell anybody. And so it's my half birthday. And so she went and got me a gift. And one of them, it was a candle, which I love. And then it was this mug, which I'm just so enjoying. Um, there's nothing quite like coffee in a mug. We were talking about the fact that for her, she's very, very picky on her coffee. And she likes it hot and she likes it fresh. And once it cools off, it's trash.
hmm.
And I was like,
Yeah.
if I don't microwave my coffee like 5 times, it's an odd day.
Yeah.
I'm constantly having to re-microwave it. And so she was talking about how she used to. She doesn't even put it in mugs. She puts it in a travel cup because it's thermal insulated, keeps it
Right.
hotter longer. But I'm like, there's just something about the experience of
Yeah.
drinking coffee
The
in a
right
mug.
mug that just feels that it's weighted and shaped and
Yeah,
makes you happy.
it's
Yeah.
not the same in a thermal cup. It's just the
Yeah.
whole experience. So I'm like, I will microwave it over and over. Like the flavor is lower on the experience level for me. But yeah, so my new mug. Thank you, darling friend.
I would say next up for me is I am in a season of reflecting. Um, some of it's age, some of it's grief. And that can be hard at times. Some of it can be really hard, but I'm also enjoying it, because life has slowed down for me. So I
Mm-hmm.
have the time,
Mm-hmm.
I've been afforded the opportunity to do that. Um, and I feel like I'm still young enough and sharp enough. I don't want to make this sound, but like as we get older, it's harder to like do something. We sit and like we might remember things, but they're scattered and they're fragmented, and
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to share and pass those on. So I feel like I'm grateful that but I'm enjoying because little things pop up in my mind that I haven't thought about in years and years and years.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. And so working on a way to
The fly.
I was worried it was a bee or, a wasp or
Yellow
something. Um, anyways,
finding a way to share that.
finding a way to share that. But I'm really enjoying just the season of just having the time to really think about and really, really ponder on them, not just like a passing thing and then you forget it, 5 minutes later. So.
I like that. Yeah. I think it's hard when you're younger. You're busy, like you're so busy living life and doing life and all the things that you just kind of you don't have time to stop and reflect a lot. And then, I mean, everyone's way of like, oh, I did that when I was a kid or whatever. But I think definitely in that like older season of retirement, being able to like have a little bit less noise.
Well, and I think some of the things you don't recognize the significance of them until time has passed either. I mean, you might remember something.
Yeah.
But like when you also have that significance of it, which, you can do from your childhood. I mean, you and your brothers have all shared memories with me, things that I didn't hone in on. Like it took me a while to even remember the situation. But like it made this heavy, deep mark on you.
Right,
a good mark.
Yeah.
Not a bad mark. But yeah. So yeah.
Okay, I have a bonus thing.
Okay.
This. I noticed I did this a lot yesterday too. Tapping my nails are just barely. I don't like long nails. I learned I worked at a daycare for almost a decade, and long nails were a liability. Like you're just accidentally scratching kids. And so I learned to keep them really short, and I just don't really like long nails. So they are just like barely to the end of my fingertips, but they're just enough that I can do that. Okay. So bonus. But I'm going to share yard sailing. Yard sailing, especially with you. We used to do it all the time together. And then we had the store. And so we were always at the shop. And then I moved. And so we weren't together during yard sale season. So I've really, really enjoyed getting to do it with you. I'm even learning to enjoy doing it with my children as much as I selfishly really enjoy when it's just us. I remember going as a kid. I remember like you made us little lists of things to look for. And if we found those things, we get like a quarter. And so learning to do things to enjoy doing it with them and teaching them to love finding new treasures. My Addie discovered free boxes. Oh my gosh. And if you're a young person or you remember being a young person, free boxes are the coolest thing on the planet at yard sales because you could just take whatever you wanted. And so like pawn through the free box, and I did not monitor it at all. And we get home and one kid brought home an old cheap makeup kit. Another kid brought home crusty earbuds. I don't think what else. There's some like, I'm like, so that
a little like purse wallet thing that was completely.
Oh yeah, it's she's enjoying it. She's using it, but like it's all flaked off a bunch and like it's falling apart.
She's cramming that thing full.
All of her like money and change and but they discovered free boxes. It's pretty cool. So I'm like, I remember that. I remember the joy of a free box because there was so much potential and you didn't have to ask. It was just like anything you wanted.
Yeah.
So I would say yard sales, and specifically at yard sales, I've been like finding a lot of, so I have a dream that Rustic will come back to life, which is like always had been a distant dream, but it's more of a more near future, like within the next 5 years. I'd love to reopen Rustic. Don't know what that looks like yet, but I have decided that in preparation, I'm going to start picking for Rustic. My husband loves it. But when you find a really good deal, like vintage, the thing about finding vintage things is like it's a curating thing. And so to have enough for a storefront, like you've got to be doing it for a long time. Right. So 3 to 5 years of yard selling season could potentially give me enough for store. It might not even be enough time. So
because you're not even going for like the bigger pieces.
Yeah, you're not going for the big pieces. At this point, it's all the little stuff. That fill the shop, fill the shelves. But books are one thing that I'm actually going to slow down on because I'm kind of addicted. But I've been finding them for like 50 cents each, which is crazy. And I brought a whole stack of This is just a small. I probably bought like 15 or 20 vintage books in the last couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just something about, I love old books, whether they're like this isn't super old. This one's a copy
Oh,
of Frankenstein, and it's fabric, but it's the fabric, which I love. And then you've got this really old one. Doesn't even have a name on the front. I think it's a poetry book. Let's see if I can figure it out. Yeah, it's a poetry book. Dogwood and Iris by Annie Lewis Allison, I think. But it was signed by the author in Christmas 1926. I don't know if you can, yeah. It's like an old tattered cover, but it's got old writings. So yeah, I just love the character and the charm of those books. I love the smell as long as it's not moldy. I
and
love
if
that
you've
smell.
followed the Rustic Girls for more than a minute, you know that books are like
The
our,
workhorses.
yeah, they're the workhorses. They're the staple in decorating for us.
They
So.
are. And I will say more recently, that friend who actually got me the mug, she bought at like, I don't know, an antique store, boutique or something. She bought a couple of vintage books because they looked interesting. And granted, the thing about interest, to me, vintage books look interesting and they're beautiful and they have character and charm, but there's no pictures. There's nothing really to pull you in to make you want to read the book. So I've always just used them as display.
Mm-hmm.
And she was reading them, and she actually ended up giving me one of them, which I love the book. But I was like,
Oh yeah, you can read
you
them.
can read
It's
them?
a whole new world.
Yeah. So I love the idea that like not only are they just, and it's so silly, it's so something that I should have, like, duh,
Yeah.
but you didn't. And that like not only are they beautiful, not only do they have character and charm, they're great for, building up displays. They're great for just on a shelf with a few small things, but like that they're also something functional. Like they
Mm-hmm.
are, you can read them. There's ideas and concepts and new
Mm-hmm.
worlds. And so, yeah, yard sales and vintage books are definitely filling my cup right now. What's your?
I'm gonna say, because we were just talking about this the other day, is I, you know, cooking for a family is one, skill set, and which is what I've done, my whole life. And then I recently adjusted to just cooking for two.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I'm cooking just for me. And um I don't cook everything all the time. I mean, it's completely changed. I've completely changed how I eat, but I'm finding I'm enjoying the process of it. Things that, when I was cooking for a family,
Mm-hmm.
I was all about, I wasn't into the
Economy, efficiency.
economy and efficiency. I didn't like a ton of prep work. I was like, let's make it quick and easy and get it in the oven or on the stove, get it on the table. Um, and I'm finding I like to experiment with different herbs and spices and mix it up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm eating combinations of things that, some of it
You've never tried
it's
or never would
very,
have.
it's a intentional, healthy choice thing. And so I'm trying to find ways to put these things together. But there's things that I would never have tried in the past. I would have went. But even, like making pico, that was
Mm-hmm.
something your dad and I discovered and started doing together in the last, since we retired. And the first time through was a little rough, doing it all by myself. And he was so patient and precise about all the prep work and
Mm-hmm.
all the dicing really small, and he just like did it. And I was just like, oh, I'll just put it all together. And it was a great team process. But I found this last time through, yes, it was a lot of prep work, but it was being very present in
Mm-hmm.
what I was doing and thinking about you know, so I'm finding I'm really enjoying cooking on that level, at least
Yeah.
for myself on that small
Mm-hmm.
scale. Anyway,
I love that. It's beautiful. I don't like cooking. I have nothing to offer. But
I do,
I love
however,
that for you.
struggle. when it comes, because I've been taking on like a
once a week,
once a week
a family
for
dinner.
the family meal, and I'm struggling with that. Trying to come up with, because you guys
you're going
have
for
your
cooking 1 or 2 too, to cooking for 8.
Yeah. So it's more than I won't say I never cooked, because there was times I did cook for big groups like that.
But for the
A
most
lot
part, you
of
cook
times
for
I did,
6.
yeah.
But still, yeah, we do kind of have our meals.
But
we always enjoy it. At least my kids do. So funny. My MO, which my husband knows and it drives him bananas, is if I hate leftovers. I don't do leftovers. I've never liked leftovers. Except soup. But anyway, so whenever we have a ton leftovers in the fridge, we're doing leftovers for dinner, I always like at the last minute go, I'm not hungry. I think I'm just gonna have like a smoothie. And then, or like if it's a meal I don't like. And he gives me so much grief for it, because I always like predictably
what's your
do this.
go-to?
That's my go-to. And so she had suggested doing stuffed bell peppers, and I thought my family will enjoy this. I hate peppers, never liked peppers. And so I told her, go for it, do it, because she's trying to come up with meals that could feed everybody, and I don't like, it's limited, right? Especially if you start incorporating people's tastes. And so I'm like, just go for it, knowing I'll just have a smoothie that night. And one of my girls doesn't like rice, and so I go in and I start making my smoothie, and my husband's laughing at me. Or I get my stuff from my smoothies. Aren't you eating? I'm like, no, I'm just gonna have a smoothie night. And he's like, oh my gosh. And so I come out to where mom's at, and she's like, well, how's Miss L doing with it? And I was like, I didn't ask. I think she ate part of it. I was like, but I can't judge her too harshly because I'm having a smoothie. And she goes, you don't like peppers? Like, yeah, surprise. But yeah. Anyway, I don't know what got me on that tangent, but good time. Okay, so let's see, I've done I will do audiobooks. I've really been enjoying audiobooks. My glasses are prescriptions off. I'm due to get some new ones. So doing a lot with my eyes. I start to get headaches right now, and I used to read a ton, and then with my dad's passing, I just kind of like lost all interest in all of my life. And I found myself wanting to read again, but then I can't read for very long because of my headaches. And so I've really been enjoying audiobooks because they can just play in my ear, whatever I'm doing, and kind of transport me to another world and go on adventures. And so I'm always up for book recs. If you have any favorite books, I'm always looking for new series to check out and new ideas, But yeah, so I've been digging the audiobooks. I have, however, I got a free bonus, like Spotify has like an add-on, and it's like another $15 a month. So it's like doubling the cost of Spotify, and it gives you an extra like 10 hours of reading time. And I have that for a month. I got a whole month free, like a month and a half free. And I've really I've been burning through those bonus hours. So I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do.
You should check your library. Because no, and I just say that because I find it interesting is that for me, audiobooks, like for, I don't even know, probably the last 5-8 years have been my go-to. Now, I never paid for a service. I just used the ones from the library. I started listening to like cassettes, audiobooks on cassettes. But and for me, it was just because I didn't have, I was just so busy. And by the time I sat down to read a book, I would fall asleep. And so I've picked physical books back up in the last, couple years, to where, now that's kind of my normal.
Yeah.
And I'm not set up currently to have access for audiobooks. I listened to one or two on, I don't know, I think it was free, whatever, Amazon
has
but it's pretty
ones.
it's pretty limited.
Yeah. I need to check out the library because they have a ton of resources and it's free. So hold me accountable, guys. I'll do it this next week. I don't know why I'm so against it. I don't know why. I don't know. I can't account for me. So yeah, that's audiobooks.
Um. Oh, gardening. Gardening. We started that, and I say gardening as like the umbrella. What I'm really enjoying is just seeing, like,
Puttering and
once you
seedlings.
get them growing, it's
Mhm.
like they kind of do their own thing, right? And you just let the sunshine hit, and you give them water, and pluck a few weeds, and all of my stuff is pretty containerized,
Right.
and so it's just fun, like walking by. Actually harvested a little bit of lettuce and
Mm-hmm.
spinach. And then we harvested some of that other lettuce that was the freebie that
Mm-hmm. I let my last year's garden in the veggie boxes, I let the lettuce grow up and go to seed because I thought, oh, I'll just give it to nature. And so I've got a whole bunch cropping up around in the gravel
all
around
around.
my
Yeah.
fruit tree.
So that's kind of cool. I've never really done a lot of outdoor gardening stuff, and growing food. And it's just kind of cool that you can just walk outside and harvest something that you put in the
Mm-hmm.
dirt, and
Yeah.
you can eat it. So
It's funny. I almost put my yard in gardening. But I am. Again,
yeah,
it's
you've
seeing the
really been
reward of your
enjoying
labors.
sitting
Yeah.
out there. I mean, that's kind of
Puttering.
part of, and that's part of, I think, that being outside in the sunshine and
Mm-hmm.
puzzling and just enjoying the
Mm-hmm.
space that you've been working on. And
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, my what do. I have 2 left. Holy moly. We got to speed it up. We're going to have to cut one. Well, I guess I have one extra. I won't do my bonus. I'll do my last one. I've been enjoying the written Bible. And you may think that's just the Bible, but it's not. So I have this journal. It's one of those Bible um, journals that's the like Bible on one side and journal on the other. And I don't take notes tidy. Let's find a good example of what my note taking. This is actually remarkably tidy for me. And then we have sloppier ones like this, where I doodle. But I take a lot of notes during the service. But it's all sloppy, and so it's not fun to look at. It just got like super dark.
yeah, I
It's
wonder if
weird.
it's just because the sun
Oh,
picked up
we're
outside,
back.
maybe.
But I got this. This is the written Bible. Really beautiful. And it's for you to write out the scriptures. So the concept is slowing down. So there we go. So that's my notes over here. And this is the scriptures written out. And so the idea is it makes you, I think it's because I hold books up stuff up close and it like, where am I? Find me. Make me pretty. Okay, well, I guess we're just dim. I don't know. Light. But anyway, it makes you slow down and be more intentional as you write each word out. And then I get to transfer all my crazy notes into really tidy notes. And so I did the one that's the book we're reading at church right now, the book of the Bible. I've just been enjoying. I think it's added this new element to my time with the Lord each morning, and this is really driving me bananas. I wish it would just stop being so dark. Okay. It's really just added to, I think, my quiet time with the Lord. It's something new, and it's just forcing me to meditate a little bit more. I've gotten pretty good about consistently just reading the Word. Where I pretty consistently will. I was gonna say bang it out in a year, but that sounds really bad. But in about a year, I will read the Bible. But the meditating, the slowing down, and the really like marinating in it, I'm not great at. And so I've really actually just been enjoying doing this. Oh yeah.
Well, it's interesting because I say I don't listen to audio books, but that is my one exception. Is I listen more to the Bible than actually time spent with it sitting open. It's usually when I want to study something or read something specific. But I have found, because I usually do that, I put my headphones in when I'm walking, and I have found sometimes it's really easy to just walk, and it's like you're listening in one ear and your brain is like chewing on
Mm-hmm.
something else, and you realize, wait, I don't even know what I heard today, or you might just like a couple key things. So I have found keep having it open, and I found this out by accident because every time I put it in my pocket, it would put a pressure point or something, and it would pop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, and I got tired of having to keep pulling it out, restarting it. And so I decided, you know what, I'm just going to hold it in my hand. And then I started like following along, which I have not really done. When I
Mm-hmm.
listen, I don't really do that. And I found, it keeps my brain focused on what I'm hearing, but I'm
Helps
getting,
comprehension too.
it's like I'm getting more out of it. So, just my 2 cents on my Bible.
I like it.
I'm not all as
I like
into
it.
that, but yeah.
That's the beauty, I think, of your relationship with the Lord and time in His Word is it doesn't always have to look the same,
No.
and it definitely doesn't have to look the same between people.
And it
So
doesn't
it's
have to look
about
the
like
same in different seasons of your life
exactly
either.
like
Yeah.
it can always be changing and shifting.
Mm-hmm.
The important things is that we're in His Word
Mm-hmm.
and that we're just being intentional about that. And I think kind of from that, it can look like a variety of things. I just like worship can look like singing the songs, but it can also be painting the paintings,
Mm-hmm.
playing the music, writing the poems. Like, so, I think it can be easy to become really like boxed in, like Bible time is sitting down with a devotional and your Bible and for 20 minutes and then we pray,
Mm-hmm.
and going to church has to be this very like we do this, this is worship, is
Yeah.
singing the songs, and during the week we're just living our life, and it's like it's a constant thing and it's fluid and it's
Mm-hmm.
creative and it's
Oh yeah,
yeah.
there's days like I'll sit down and I will have my Bible open, or I'll have a devotional or
Hmm.
another, book that's based
Right.
out of, and it's more studied out, a lot more time spent, sometimes there's prayer attached, right? The same.
Mhm.
So it's ever evolving. Someone told me years and years and years and years ago that when it's easy for for us to get super busy, right? And then your walk kind of fades.
Mhm.
Or, things that can happen that, you know, and it's always us. We're the ones that always shift
Mhm.
and put this gap in our relationship. But things can happen that you don't have that desire, you don't want to. You don't necessarily have to be angry with God or anything,
Yeah.
but maybe you just but someone told me years ago, even when you feel like you don't have time to read your Bible or you don't want to read your Bible, even just one verse or
Mhm.
one chapter, um, you're keeping that connection point,
Mhm.
and God can. That's how He speaks to us through His
Mhm.
Word. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, I mean, I went through a phase where is all I could muster was opening my Bible app and the verse of the day, and that was it for me. And
Yeah.
I've worked my way back, and so um,
Yeah.
get off my pulpit. but
Amen.
but
Preach it,
yeah,
sister.
I
No, I
just
agree. It's good. And I think it's true. Um, yeah, it's important. Um, yeah. Well, we actually have had the longest podcast, or I'm not
I
podcast or whatever, like the vlog,
whatever we're doing now.
coffee with the Rustic Girls. It's the longest one we've done in a while.
Yeah,
So yeah, thanks so much for joining us and hanging out.
and
I
I
would,
think talking about things that um we're just really vibing right now. We're really enjoying this,
mhm.
making us happy, filling our cup. Even just standing here talking, I started thinking of more. And I think that's the
Yeah.
point of the exercise, is to notice, to be
Hmm.
aware
Hmm.
of those things that are filling our cup. And likewise, the things that aren't,
Start serving you.
Maybe if we can, we need to eliminate them.
Doing
Depending
dishes
on what it
isn't
is.
filling my cup. I'm gonna tell Justin.
It
Sorry, I can't do dishes. I also can't cook. Not filling my cup. No, I agree. And I think that's, that's exactly what I was about to say, was
Yeah.
just I encourage you, if you haven't, just take a few moments to sit and just reflect. It's not about accomplishing something. It's just pausing and reflecting and thinking, like, what in my life is bringing me joy? And when you figure it out, we would love to hear about it. So come back and share with us.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with us, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye, friends.